Third time's a charm. Whoa, for the longest time. Whoa, for the longest. If you said goodbye to me tonight, there still would be music left to write. What else could I do? I'm so inspired by you. That hasn't happened for the longest time. Once I thought my innocence was gone. Now I know that happiness goes on. That's where you found me when you put your arms around me. I haven't been there for the longest time. Whoa, for the longest time. Whoa, for the longest time. I'm that voice you're hearing in the hall, and the greatest miracle of all. It's how I need you, and how you needed me too. That hasn't happened for the longest time. Maybe this won't last very long, but you feel so right, and I could be wrong. Maybe I've been hoping too hard, but I've gone this far, and it's more than I hoped for. Who knows how much further we'll go on? Maybe I'll be sorry when you're gone. I'll take my chances. I forgot how nice love and romance was. I haven't been there for the longest time. Yeah. Hello everyone, welcome back. It's me. Today is March 23rd, 2026 at 6:51 p.m. I hope you're well. So today I would like to continue and finish off explaining, which hasn't been easy to do, when I started to talk about Extraterrestrials Among Us and the Gods of Eden. Today it was actually this past week. I had a feeling that David Wilcock wasn't okay. And I kind of ignored my intuition, regretfully now, because last night I saw a preview for Hidden in Plain Sight. And, it talked about David having a meltdown or something. And so I went to check. And his condition does not look very good at all. I haven't seen him in quite some time. And so my goal here today is to try and fix things, as I've said. And I'd like to start off by talking about my theme song. If you've heard it, it goes, "Here comes last minute lacy, running wild and saving crazy. Every clock is counting down. She won't let us hit the ground." Saving crazy. See, I didn't write the lyrics to that. AI made that up, actually. I just wrote it, make me a song that is about a girl named Lacey saving the day at the last minute. And that's what I came up with. It was super excellent. Party time. Excellent. Wayne's World. Okay. In all seriousness, one, I'm pretty high. Two, I remember what I was talking about, I think. Because I tried to warn David Wilcock years ago. I found David back in about 2012. And I didn't start watching live streams a lot until about 2014. Okay. I watched him until he started to talk about Archangel Michael. And I thought, uh-oh. Because in this book here, Gods of Eden by William Bramley, William Bramley names the people at the top of the pyramid the Custodians. Then it would be like the Anunnaki and the government and da-da-da-da-da, right? Like in a pyramid. I brought my chart, but I honestly don't think that I need it. You understand what I mean, right? My whiteboard on the top of the pyramid. And I don't know, like, it could be one of the reasons why the top of the pyramid is missing, or like above. It's like the elites above the rest, right? But the thing is in this book, okay, there is a part about the archangels. And there's a lot of evidence that suggests that they were custodians. Now, I talked about some memories about my past lives. The one that I remember that reflects into this life, okay? It came to a point where all of the beings that were like me started fighting and killing each other. It just happened one day, and things erupted into chaos. I remember getting involved, but I don't remember what happens after that. I do end up getting killed and I fall into the ocean. That's another time. I've talked about that previously on another video. I don't want to get too much into digressing in this video. But I wasn't sure what happened until years and years of research. And I came across something called the Book of Giants. And in that, it's what happens to the Nephilim giants, I believe it is. And it was Archangel Gabriel. For some reason, that particular angel was important to me when I was young, and I never knew why. I always wanted to name my son Gabriel. Never knew why. But I think I do now. I can feel it. I always knew that that was not Archangel Michael. There's a reason why these beings, what they do, I told David and Corey Goode, and I tried to warn Elena Danaan, okay? Yeah. I can't remember if I ever warned Alex Collier. I don't know. But those ones I specifically remember, okay? And I think Claudio Nocelli. But that's another video, okay? I'm going to talk about that in another video. Because Claudio's nothing doing wrong, nothing like that. But he did say that he was kidnapped by a custodian. They stuck something up his nose, eh? I don't have a hero complex or a savior complex. I just know that I have this responsibility to let these people know, hey, I'm pretty sure there's something wrong. And they might think they have gotten away from these that's kept them in chains, but they haven't. You see, they'll raise you up. They'll bring you fame, they'll bring you money, they'll bring you fans, everything you wanted. But then one day, they'll rip it right out from under you and watch you devastatingly fall. It could be fast, it could be slow. Depends on what they feel like, I guess. But I've seen it happen many times before. I don't want to debate about the number of them or anything like that, but there is clear evidence that there is involvement from something else. There wasn't anything else to call them because they are kind of a faceless society. So he calls them the Custodians in this. It's good. Claudio Nocelli calls the head beings in his universe the Custodians as well, and then it goes the Anunnaki under them. I truly believe there's a reason for that. So I really tried, I tried to warn them. I remember, okay, I've had my own experiences with this. There may have been more to the Asura symbolically, like the elongated skull thing, that I always said that there was like these two forces fighting for me, the dark side and the good side, right? And even though I have no idea what they look like, I felt them all my life fighting for me to join whatever side, yeah? I've had a lot of experience with this. I'm not perfect. There's still things that I have to watch out for, keep myself in balance, control my sexual energy, which is what a lot of people have to do. It's complicated, but it's doable. And I believe that I can defeat them. In fact, I know that I can. I just need some help. I don't mean David Wilcock. I mean the Custodians. Yeah, I know. The thing is, I don't want to I have the ability to do both, to save or to destroy. Now, for quite a few darker years of my life, not that many, but enough to learn from and never go back to again. Crap, I just lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. Just give me a second. About the darkness, going back and forth, blah, 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 blah. The culling. So, it's a longer story, okay? I've talked about this in videos about the culling. But when I was told about the culling in August of 2017, I remember the first thing I said was, that thing Corey Goode used to talk about? Uh-huh. And they're like, yeah. They told me 3/4 of humanity would go. Basically, that's the reset, They just used another word, a culling. A culling is like to cleanse the sick and old and unwanted cattle in a herd. So I do believe I've had contact myself with these beings at one time. The thing of it is when I heard 3/4, I'm not that great at math. And I remember saying, you mean like if we had 4 quarters and $1, you mean 3 of them and only 1 left? Like, that's a lot of people, And it bothered me so much that I decided that it was best to find another way. And for a while, I didn't know what to do. And then, well, I figured, it's up to me, I guess. If there's nobody else out there that can change it, well, maybe I can. And I've got to try. And like I said in my post on Telegram, and I was talking with Daughter of Lilith again, and I talked to her about this kind of stuff, and I had mentioned to her about David. And I was like, I got to try to help him. I'll never forgive myself if I don't try and something happens to him. Like I said in my post, David's not perfect. He's made mistakes. But they are salvageable. And the thing is that I can't do this all myself. I need them all to help me, to explain to people what this really is, all at once, all at the same time. Real unity. I don't think these people understand that they're actually helping the custodians. They're helping the cabal. They don't understand this. I don't know where and when. Well, actually, I do, because it was them. They started the whole financial system. They started the thing, this new age thing where it's like money is an energy exchange. Money is abundance. No, it's not. Love is. What's all the things that David Wilcock cannot buy? He's got a lovely house, got all this stuff going for him, blah, blah, blah. Who cares about the rest, right? The debt and all that. He had it good going on good. But what's the one thing he couldn't buy? Love. That is abundance. Having people love you for who you truly are is the greatest wealth of all. Not for some made up stories about secret space program adventures. Who you really are. The authentic power of you. A lot of these people, it's true, have fallen victim to their ego, to their own asura, their lower self, not realizing it. It explains their behavior. These beings, they affect the mind, the emotions, your life, the way you deal with things. Hence why Elena Danaan threw a friggin' fit about Michael Sala. There's so many examples. Hence why David went on talking about how Archangel Michael told him to take a bath in his own pee and then tell everybody about it. That's, again, your downfall. They'll make you think it's a great thing. They mislead you on purpose. And their goal, their 100% goal, I'm telling you, they've tried to do it to me. And I know we can debate it all day long. When it comes down to it, right? It is a source of evil. And I'm telling you right now, what they want to do is get you to end yourself. That's the goal. Then they own you forever. These beings are extraordinarily intelligent in a dangerous, dangerous way. Deadly. And they love to latch onto people's hopes and dreams and inflate them and make them think that they are reachable when they're leading them in the opposite direction of them, like an illusion. Yeah. For so long, they kept me sitting in a depressive state, not moving, not doing anything, waiting for everything to come to me. It was a trap. And I fell for it for a long time. Lots of things. And that's how I learned how to recognize it with others. I'm not sitting here accusing people lightly. This is a serious situation. David Wilcock's physical health has deteriorated. His mental health has been going for years, and I'm sorry. If he ever watches, I'm so sorry, David. I'm not trying to hurt you at all. I've been trying to help you guys for years. Corey Goode addressed me as, oh, human. That's how the Asura talks. They make you think you're above human. That's what this higher society feels like they're better than us in every way. They're just not human anymore. Let me see here. I mean, you don't destroy your shadow side. You have to contain it and learn how to control it, just like your emotions. They use your emotions against you a lot. You know? They make you think you're doing the right thing. Like this is abundance and what's this? Gift or blessing from the universe, rather. Yeah. But look, I truly think, and I don't have anything against money, but look at David's problems now. Even Corey Goode and I guess Emery Smith. Where did I see about running from debt? Was that hips too? It may have been. I mean, the picture's kind of funny. But I mean, like, they got themselves into this, you know? At the same time, okay, I am very fairly sure that David Wilcock may have believed in Stavati and he lost $500,000. You know? So David Wilcock, unfortunately, is being taken for a ride by some really nasty entities. All right. I don't believe for a second. All right. No disrespect. I'm sorry, David. It's happened to me. I've been sexually assaulted in the spirit realm. Okay. And if the reptilian thing is actually factual, that happened in the spirit body. It didn't happen in the living room of his house or anything. Okay. It can be very traumatizing, as much as your most terrible nightmare has been. Okay. And it can feel very real. All right. So that can explain that. That's actually when I found Hidden in Plain Sight. I found Perry and Brandon in a short David talking about this. And I remember I had said, if he is having a mental breakdown, because they're here, making jokes, I said, do you really think it's okay to be making fun of the mentally ill? And they had some compassion, understanding. You know what I mean? That's why I like those guys. And it wasn't for a while until I came back. But I remembered them. I had to go do some other things, and then I found them again. But yeah, that's how I found them. It was around that time when David was talking about that and they were covering it. Yeah. And I watched that. I remember sitting there watching it and I cried. Yeah. I felt really, really horrible. I knew what it was like, Yeah. But I didn't exactly know what was going on with David at that time. I could feel that there was something wrong. Yeah. Just like I could feel there was something wrong with Elena a little bit in. Yeah, it wasn't right away. I liked her at first. But I had to fight my own dark side, It wasn't easy. All the pain, all the people that were mean to me, all the reasons why I should blow up the earth, But then all the reasons why I shouldn't. The miracle of my change, that maybe 10, 20 years ago, if this were to happen then, I definitely 100% would not be who I am today. And then my chance would be gone. So why take that from others? Yeah. I went through a huge mental emotional process thinking about it all the time. I almost drove myself insane, like for real. And for probably short bouts, probably went there a little bit, went to crazy town. But I had a map. I got back. Eventually. Oh my. It's not just David though. These things are like leeches. Yeah. I have to be very careful myself. It's something that you can't just relax about it at one point. Like, oh no, now I'm all good. No, that's your most vulnerable time. Yeah. So I don't really know what else to do. I mean, honestly, if I was David Wilcock or anybody in this kind of a position, because if they are in such serious debt and he has to go on these live streams getting money, worried about this Stavati thing, all of this stuff, okay? It's most likely going to take sacrifice. You're probably going to lose your house. You're probably going to lose everything. But you know what you won't lose, David? Yourself and your life. And I agreed 100% with Jay Widener when he said you had so much potential, and you still do. But telling the truth and doing the right thing is the most important thing of all. Money did not get you what you needed and what you wanted. It still did not bring ascension. And I'm not sure if it even happens like that, Dave. But it can individually for us. We do graduate out of here. I really need you guys to get real and to wake up from this spell that has been placed on you of ego and fame and self-importance. You got to let all that go that was given to you in order to fix this. I think it was like almost a year ago that I made a video trying to appeal to the heart and soul of Corey Goode. And what I said in that video, he pretty much did in his new documentary. It was almost what I suggested for him to do. And I'm glad. I mean, it could have been better, but hey, I'll take it, you know? I'm not going to complain. It was his best effort. Good for you, Charlie Brown. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be like that. You did a great job, but it could have been better. Yeah. So, I mean, and that would free you from the custodian. It would have no power over you anymore. You wouldn't have to sit around thinking about what you're going to talk about or make up next or talk about the fucking weather, David. I'm sorry, fella. You helped me out a lot with your books. I read all of them except, well, it was midway through. Well, not midway through. I'll show you where I was. I think it's still there. Yeah. Well, yeah, almost midway through of Awakening in the Dream when it was like I heard you start talking about Archangel Michael and I was like, hold up. But honestly, my last video about Don't Dream It's Over is kind of connected to this. I'm going to put this one down though. But I did read all of these. Okay? I did. And the story of me finding this one, I think I wrote about it in my book. But I also wrote about what happened after. And so after I read this in about a week. And I just couldn't put it down. And I mean, I hadn't read a book in 10 years. And I always thought to myself, hold on. I always thought to myself that even I think and feel that David would appreciate hearing this story. And maybe it's something he needs to hear, But after I read this, I was really tired and I took a nap. And I had a dream about David Wilcock. And we were in this big white room. There was nothing else there. It was a white space. And he was standing across the room. And he had these eyes that they weren't his regular eyes. They were like glowing crystal blue, all blue, both of them. And he had a really peaceful smile on his face. And he walks up to me and he's usually in his normal outfit with like his blue top and his lighter blue jeans, that dark blue button-up shirt he wears. And he comes up to me and he's smiling at me. And I'm like, holy shit, that's David Wilcock. And I'm lucid, right? But I knew it wasn't. Like looking in his eyes, like he's got no eyes, right? So it looked like David, but it felt like the fucking universe, okay? Please don't leave. And then he goes, all he does is he reaches behind me and he rubs my back like this and literally gives me a pat on the fucking back. And I realized that could have been my subconscious, Again, disguising itself as David Wilcock, giving me a pat on my back for reading a book that I haven't read in like 10 years. This was in 2014, It's not only that when I went to Chapters that day, I didn't intend on getting this book. I went looking for books on UFOs. There was nothing there. The shelf was empty. They hardly had anything. This was under, I think, controversial topics or information or something. It had a ridiculous title. And that was at the bottom of the shelf. And I think there was 2 or 3 copies there. And I remember I had 2 friends. It was actually my friend and her mother. And they were just obsessed with David. Okay? David Wilcock this, David Wilcock that. Every time we talk on the phone, every time we're messaging, David Wilcock. And they lived in BC, so I met this girl online, right? But anyway, so I used to tease them. Oh, you might as well just marry David Wilcock, shit like that, you know. And I will admit that when I didn't know who he was, I did make jokes about his big forehead, and I used to say, "Oh, David Wilcock's on, eh?" Because they get all excited. "Oh, I gotta go. David Wilcock's live's on. Oh, you gotta go, eh? Coming into the Wilcock Airport." You know what I mean? Because like his forehead is very large. You could land a plane on it. So sorry. But like, I was teasing them. And they used to get all upset. "Oh, leave David alone." Like, leave Brittany alone, but not as serious. You know what I mean? But anyway, the whole point is that when I went to Chapters and I saw this book, I was like, oh my God, David Wilcock. There he is again. And I opened it, and I don't think that's going to happen twice, but I opened it and I flipped to a part where David's talking about his struggle with marijuana and depression. And that was something I remember. Oh, it was in the Dark Night of the Soul part, I think. Maybe? I just seen it. But that's something that I was struggling with, you know? And I thought, there's no way this guy, because I didn't really resonate with David, honestly. I didn't. He was too fucking happy for me, and I guess I was just in a miserable place. Or positive, rather. But anyway, so I didn't expect that. I didn't expect that he would have depression or weed or anything like that. And I was surprised. But I put the book back on the shelf. And when I walked away, I felt like I was forgetting something. So I'm checking, do I have my keys? I have this and that. And then I realized it's the book. And so I brought it home. This was a long time ago, but like David sharing his experiences, especially about the pajamas with the, he saved them. And he was lucid dreaming and spirit body traveling. And that was the time when he realized. So he saved those pajamas. How real it feels and everything. We need to tell people the truth. We can't just keep it like it's special for us. That's not fair. Loving people is like sharing is caring, yeah? And not being afraid. I'm not afraid of these custodians. I know they could shut my channel down. They come here, do whatever, blah, 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 whatever. You have to be brave. You have to decide what is more worth it to you. Are you just going to talk about saving the world, or are you actually going to do it? Are you just going to get paid for talking about one day ascension and saving the world and it's all going to be a great place? Or are we actually going to move things forward and move into the golden age for real? Is it really worth it? And people are saying, oh, nothing can stop what's coming. Are you fucking sure? People will probably be a little bit upset. But if you tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you, divine creator, it's going to work out. People are going to be mad, but they're also going to forgive you in time. You know, there's going to be people who are going to understand right away. You know, you just have to trust and have faith. You guys were the ones talking about all this stuff all these years. Why don't you be about it now? You talked about it so long. Be about it now. I'm sorry if I've dealt with things. I mean, I was really hurting. I was confused. I was angry, and I apologize if I've hurt your feelings and I've come about this the wrong way, because I didn't know what to do with you. And I didn't understand why you were doing this. And you know what? It doesn't really matter why. What matters is that we fix it. I'm trying not to swear. Okay? Look, I don't want to take anything away from any of you. I don't want to hurt you. The truth will set people free. And that's what frees them from the chains. What does it say? It says something about chains. Human chains. Oh, yeah, here it is. The chilling truth about extraterrestrial infiltration and the conspiracy to keep humankind in chains. But that'll release them. The truth sets them free. Let my people go! That's what I just heard. You know? And if this is some type of experiment or in soul school where the custodians were hoping somebody would do this, then please, look, I've done it. Can we stop now? Can we please stop this now? Please stop. Because there is a different way we can go into the future, and it definitely doesn't have to be this way. I don't know why these elites hate the rest of us so much. They made us this way. So you hate your own creation? Do you think that's what the Creator does, that it just hates us? No, that's not true at all. This is a school. And sometimes it can be a rehabilitation facility. Prison is kind of harsh. But you guys know it's like an insane asylum here. That's for a reason. It's not that the Creator doesn't love us. We have to learn how to love ourselves. And then once you do, these things just, I don't know, kind of make sense, I guess. But we're not goyim. And we're not profane. And if only they had just a bit more, so many of them would awaken all at once. But not with this shenanigans. This has been like moving through molasses. And that is malarkey. All right? Please hear me this time. I really need us all to work together. Like I said, I can't do this myself. I need your help. All of you, collectively, together, like the Power Rangers. Dun 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 dun. Aya! Let's put Rita back in that capsule thing she came out of. After 10,000 years. No, bitch. You're going right back in. I can do this. I don't want to have to do it alone. I don't know why it's gone on like this. It's like a long, slow, painful death. Come on now. And it's not, like, the more this is drawn out, it's not going to go any better for any of you. It doesn't matter how many small little alliances you got going on. None of you come together in unity in this community. You've all got your little things, and you're all doing, going to this and that, the Andromedans and this and that, the Galactic Federation, Ashtar, blah, 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 blah. And that is because, again, of them. These custodians, that's what they do. Division and control. Human history is a seemingly endless succession of bloody conflicts and devastating turmoil. Yet inexplicitly, In the light of astonishing intellectual and technological advancement, man's progress has been halted in one crucial area. He still indulges the primitive beast within and makes war upon his neighbors. This is your beast nature, and you must rise above it, from darkness to light. Indulges in the primitive beast within and makes war upon his neighbors. Okay? As a result of 7 years of intensive research, William Bramley has uncovered the sinister thread that links humanity's darkest events, from the wars of the ancient pharaohs to the assassination of JFK. In this remarkable, shocking, and absolutely compelling work, Bromley presents disturbing evidence of an alien and unknown presence on Earth, extraterrestrial visitors. But remember, extraterrestrial does not mean necessarily from off planet. That's what you think. That's what it makes you think. But I really do not believe it's this. There was so much emphasis on 5D, 5D this, 5D that, and about the mind. And I understand about positive thinking with the mind, but it's more than that. The fifth dimension, like I've seen it. You've seen all these people with their weird like tarot card shit, and like I can give you examples of people channeling weird ass things, and I was never like that. But I recognized it for what it was, entity interference and shit, you know? Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff going on, but it's them. It's these. And it says, disturbing evidence of an alien presence on Earth, extraterrestrial visitors who have conspired to dominate humankind through violence and chaos since the beginning of time. A conspiracy which continues to this day, and it still is, and it's gotten into the UFO community itself. Yeah. So this is a big problem. But I do know I can beat them. I just need some help, and I need these people to stop standing in the way. Because if they're in the way, I can't get what's behind them. Do you see what I'm saying? I hope that I've made my point. I'm kind of tired. And I have a headache. I've had a headache all day, and I'm not sure why. I don't know what's going on with the energy, the sun, or anything like that. I don't know. But I've been drinking a lot of water. I'm taking care of myself. And I ate and everything, so I'm not really sure what's going on. I slept well. But I am going to go for now. Just wait. I might as well get this over with. So there's something about this that I just seen this book at the bottom of the pile. Ooh, there they'll go. Dominoes. With Elena Danaan, okay? There's something that I think about all the friggin' time. Well, now I call it pulling a Thor Han. Just hold on. When I'm like, I feel like fucking strangling somebody. You know what I mean? I call it pulling a Thor Han. Not for real. Like, you just get so frustrated. You want to be like, ugh. So I call it pulling a fucking Thor Han. Watch. This is why. Because there's this scene in here. Yeah. There it is. Where Thor Han strangled a Grey to death. He strangled his ass. Look. Laser guns, like, that's the weirdest thing I've ever seen, but okay. I guess. I mean, I do have experience with that in one of my dreams with the gun where I put a bullet through the floor and it was glowing. I wrote about that in my book. But strangling to death, I don't know. This always seemed like an emotional reaction. You know, I watched true crime shows before, okay? And when someone strangles someone else to death, this is like an act of deep. It's usually like with a lot of feelings. Like I'm pretty sure there was a story where a husband and wife strangle, and that's like a act of passion or whatever it is. But it's because you're in your emotions. And I always thought that was one of the strangest things. If Thor Han was of a higher dimension, he wouldn't have done an act like that. There's so many different, I mean, I know about this for sure. I've exterminated many different kinds of beings in the spirit realm, and never have I ever strangled someone's ass to death. That's pretty emotionally violent. It takes a while, and there's so much behind it, right? I mean, I just usually dust them. That's the quickest way. I mean, even if he did grab it, why didn't he just break his neck? It just never made any sense. It never sat well with me. And so again, I said these beings in the blue suits. I mean, I'm not sure if all of them are the same or not, or some of them are masquerading as a certain kind of being. I have no idea anymore. It's pretty confusing. There's a lot to it, but I've never forgotten about that. Whenever I think about Thor Han, I think, is he really who he says he is? Because Elena Danaan has lost a shit ton of weight. She is also looking very depleted, unless she's taking Ozempic. I don't know. But both her and David Wilcock have been looking pretty depleted lately. And I'm wondering if it's because what happens is, if these entities can't get enough energy off of like what you're bringing in through your content and your fans, they'll feed off of you. Okay? The whole romance thing with Thor Han has red flags all over it and great concern. Okay? Yeah. And I think a lot of people have seen that. And I'm telling you, these custodians are smart as fuck. They will always, always come after you for what you want the most. Okay? They could probably, well, I hope and pray I'll know. But they could change themselves into Claudio Nocelli and stand up at the door. I'd let them in. And then, in the guts, bang, I'm gone. But hopefully, I won't fall for something like that. But that's what they do, Mm-hmm. So there. I really want to help these people. I don't want to hurt them. I never thought the talking about David being gay was funny. I never gave a shit, and it's none of my business. Okay. What else? It's not funny that David got a divorce. That's sad. I always thought that if David had real love in his life, that this would not be happening. I would have never, ever, ever. Now, I don't want to marry David Wilcock. Let's make this clear. No offense, no disrespect, but I would have never let this happen to my husband. I would have never, ever said it was okay. Like this would be a good thing. No, 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 no. And if it continued, I would peace out. And then I would tell everybody. I don't care if he sued me. Yeah. So I strongly believe that people can be saved. I know that there's been a lot of hurt feelings, but we have to realize that these people are suffering with a certain level of mental illness, whether it's been because David sat alone in that cabin for all this time. I literally burst out crying again, like, not trying to kiss Jay Widener's ass or anything. It's just that I really feel for the man. That man lost his job. He used to have a really good job at Gaia, had things good going for him. I know that he's okay. He doesn't complain about his life now or anything, but they really fucked him over and betrayed him as a friend. And listen, he even said, he was like, where's David's family? I think it was in an interview with Stephen Cambion, and I just started crying. I was like, yeah, where's David's family? But I might think that it could be, he just convinces them that everything's fine and this and that, and then I don't know. But the man needs help. He doesn't need to be harassed and reminded of how much debt he's in, because it would be a honest to God, terrible, devastating tragedy if he were to unalive himself because of this kind of online harassment. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to cause him any more problems. I've been trying to fix things for so long, you know? And I understand that in a way, there is deserved karma. There is. And for things to be uncovered that have been, the truth always comes to light about things. I'm fully aware of this, even with myself, right? So I just hope that we can really try to help these people. If you don't want to, that's fine. But I'm going to. And I would appreciate it if you could support me in my mission here with this, okay? Even if you don't believe that I can do it, I do. So I think that'll be all. I'm tired now. My voice hurts. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. I've got my Sailor Moon cup today. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I don't know if I'm going to put the little singing video that I did in this or not, but if I did, I really hope you enjoy it. And I'll talk to you guys all soon, okay? I gotta go and rest. I'm tired. But I appreciate y'all being here, and I'll see y'all next time. Okay? I'm pretty sure I'm done. Yeah, everything's good. Yeah. All right. Take care, everybody. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye. See ya.